If you were to tell me 33 years ago that I would be sitting here next to this gentleman having this conversation, I'd say you are Looney Tunes. Woohoo! But upon inner reflection, Doc, I'd say this is supposed to happen cosmically. There's no need to give this gentleman an introduction because he is who he is. But since he drove all the way from Sherman Oaks to be here with us, I'm gonna. A star of stage and screen, primarily, of course, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But little do they know such things as episodes of Knight Rider, Mr. Belvedere, WKRP in Cincinnati. On film with Michael Keaton in The Night Shift, possibly?
Night Shift, not The Night Shift.
Not The Night Shift.
Because you could get sued for that. No. You added The to that?
No, on the TM. Demon Knight with Billy Zane. You've had your own...
And Jada Pinkett.
And Jada Pinkett, of course. You've had your own TED Talk. You're an author.
I've had 3 TED Talks, but let's not go into details.
A husband, a wife, a father, an author, a grandfather, an artist. Mr. Charles Fleischer is here with us today, kids, on 10,000 Heroes, brought to you by 10,000 Heroes. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Because of the length of your introduction, we will have to reduce the length of the interview. But we can just speak faster and make that work. Thank you very much for a very elegant and elongated introduction, which I appreciate. And 33 years ago, you said?
Well, I was going to say, that's when I first saw your feature film, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which changed my life forever. It's the reason why I'm sitting here with you now. So
it changed my life forever too.
Well, clearly.
And shout out to Bob Zemeckis,
Mr. Bob Zemeckis,
and
who
Richard
were
Williams.
begging. Rest in peace. Rest in power. Rest in animation, Mr. Richard Williams. What an incredible,
intricate procedure.
I mean,
resonate ionic plateau.
See, that's the thing about interviewing a wordsmith such as yourself. I'm in your hands now. I'm actually just here to watch the show. But let's start even before Roger Rabbit and even before your entry into entertainment. Your childhood. You're from Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And as far as entering entertainment, I think I simultaneously appeared in entertainment at the same time that entertainment appeared in me.
I mean, okay, which is where? In the bathroom, doing shows for aliens.
Well, actually, as opposed to fictitiously,
right?
When I used to shower as a young person, I would consider the fact that aliens might exist. And what if they just happened to be me watching me? So I did shows for them, thinking that if they happened to see it, they would be entertained and they would come to Earth and bring me gifts.
Now, I don't doubt that any kid watching this hasn't done that themselves or even thought that, they were putting on a show for somebody. And my mom probably thought I was crazy because I used to do that, put on a show for nobody. But
sure.
You
have a tape recorder too?
Kids, there's this thing called VHS that we used to have, and that's how I used to record things that I loved watching, and audio recorder too. I used to have the audio recorder, and I have tapes of myself as a kid.
And I used to use sound effects records.
And I'd
put them in the background, and then do shtick to that.
So were you like I imagine like the class clown, the one?
Not
really.
Or not? I was more trying to figure out what the entire education procedure was about, figure out who I am,
right?
As opposed to just being wild and wacky. When I was 9 years old at summer camp, I did stand-up for the first time.
That's when you started your stand-up career?
At 9.
Because you've been on every stage in this country, I imagine, not just doing stand-up, but playing buildings like musical instruments. I learned this about you.
Research.
You guys don't know this, but Charles and I have a sushi club. We eat sushi at our Roja Sushi on Ventura. This is not an advertisement for them. This is actually
it is indeed. And I hope
we're
they
trying
see
to get
it
discounts.
Because now, can you do a Japanese dialect? Is that?
I can't. I mean, I do whatever gets me the discount. That's what people don't. I tell people I'm Filipino, and they're like, "What? That's not true."
I just meant as far as culture is concerned.
Can you?
Still acceptable? Do it Japanese?
Yeah.
What part of Tokyo?
Well, geez. See, I don't have that much experience. See, this is an education I'm getting. Not only am I getting hungry listening to that, I'm learning. My brain is expanding right now. So
Nothing wait, you can do both, man. What are you doing here, superior? Baked crab roll.
Baked crab hand roll is
the order. You
turn me on to
that. You turn me on a baked crab roll.
Yeah. Kids.
Never had that before.
And?
I went back 2 days later.
See, this is my joy here, is that I learned so much from you that I'm so happy that I could learn. I'm so happy I could learn you something, son.
Well, geez, mister.
The baked crab hand roll, guys.
Baked crab hand roll. It sounds just like what it is. It's baked, it's a crab, and it's a hand roll.
Well, let's get back to the stand-up, though, because I want to know how you...
Sure.
Because I'm thinking about like people like Richard Pryor, you've cited as some of your biggest heroes. Also Jimi Hendrix, also Salvador Dali. But
unquestionably, they have all touched my soul in ways that are remarkable.
But they're all, at some degree, performers and funny, in their way. But like coming out of summer camp, 9 years old, having that experience, that real, visceral experience of making a group of your peers laugh, that was the driving force for you to pursue, like, coming here to Hollywood? Or
well, I think it just instigated a behavior system based on reward that I knew I was destined for.
Yeah.
And then inspirational people like Jonathan Winters, when I saw him perform.
Well, Jonathan Winters has, I'm looking at Colette Sunderman. And of course, let's give a shout out to our two founder producers here, Joe Sikta and Colette Sunderman, who have graciously allowed us to come here at Salami Studios. Greetings from another dimension. I feel like I'm on Roger Rabbit. Like, you might not be here. They're going to add you later, and I'm just talking to a tennis ball right now. It's great.
I am a tennis ball. I'm a tennis quartz. I'm quartz crystal, and I'm also a ribonucleic acid.
I'm glad you brought up crystal, because we're going to talk. Do you have the pocket of crystals on you now?
I might. I don't know. I'd have to look for it.
All right. We're gonna talk about that. But first,
Richard Pryor. Yes. We were talking about how he was inspirational. Just seeing him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
I had to follow him a couple times, and that was an extraordinary experience.
So what year was this now then?
1979, maybe.
It's the year I was born.
Really, that's why I said it. I have no idea what years. My time reference is just it was then.
Sure. And this is like at the Comedy Store?
And it's really only now. At the Comedy Store. And Richard Pryor, his stand-up was... it was literary. It was deep. It was
like a philosopher.
And that definitely inspired me. Just the characters he did, and and he saw me do my stand up.
Yeah.
And I also had a pair of shoes on that I had painted. They were Capizios, and I had spray painted them. Kind of looked like Salvador Dali bedroom slippers. And Richard said, paint me a pair of slippers. And I painted a pair for him, and he invited me to his house for dinner. And that was one of the highlights of my early Los Angeles experience.
That's insane. And that was back then. That was, if you were a young comic, you would be in a room with legends. And they were just there to do their 5 to 10 minutes and maybe drive.
Usually more. Back then or back now.
Okay.
Or back when.
Back when?
When was now, and now was when. The past is nothing.
It's never how is Charles. It's when is Charles.
When isn't Charles?
When isn't Charles?
When isn't Charles you?
I hope that you're watching this just drooling. Like, I'm like, in heaven right now. Guys, you're watching 10K Heroes. Go to 10kheroes.com if you're watching and enjoying. Please, we're helping kids battle and do some research for the blood cancers with kids. It's all for the kids.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because obviously I am a fan of yours and a friend of yours, I consider.
Yes.
And I would show up any place to promote anything you're doing. But the underlying fact that we are doing something to help childhood disease, I've got kids. I am a kid. So anything to help that is,
goes a long way.
What else what can you do?
What else can we do?
If you're blessed in life to have a certain... if you're healthy and you can't help others, what are you doing? You're walking in the park with a schnob.
And the thing is, you're also going to learn new words today. Some words don't exist. You invent words.
May I just suggest to you that all words are invented.
Okay, explain to me this. This is going to be your 5th TED Talk then, today, on 10K Heroes. So, all words are invented. Of course they are, but they all derive from a place, do they not?
Well, that does not negate the fact that they were invented. One could consider that every invention derived from a place.
The word pants.
From pantaloon.
Right. Okay.
And, from, the puppeteers. Did you just randomly say pants, or you knew about pantaloon?
I was going to say, I know pantaloons, slippers in Philippines.
You know the story of the pants?
No.
Oh, well, Pantaloon was a character in this puppet theater.
Okay.
And he was very meek. And it would be like having Woody Allen come out and calling him the Terminator. And it got a laugh. So, but he had these coverings on his legs.
Oh,
so
was he shy?
That's where pants came from pantaloon, and that leads into Pandaleon, or lion, which is a guy that was pretty heroic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Too much history. Let's move it on. Let's keep going.
This is why I love talking to you, because even when we sat down to eat baked crab hand rolls, which are words that aren't made up, I learned so much about you. You also have written scientific essays, papers, and that could only be seen where?
Well, anywhere you find it. I have a science paper.
Science paper.
Writing a science paper is different than an essay. It's a very specific set of rules that you must follow to present it in the scientific community. It's on the Cornell University website.
Right. So in order
to be there, you have to be endorsed.
I was going to ask, like,
a scientist.
So that's how you know it's not. It's science. It has to be endorsed. It has to be vetted. It has to be. And what was your theory? And what was the paper?
Well, it has to do with gamma ray bursts.
Okay.
Which are it's nothing to do with the Hulk. That's just gamma rays, and gamma rays are the most excited form of electromagnetic vibration. Radio waves, and you got infrared, and then visible light, ultraviolet, and going all the way up to X-rays, and then gamma rays. Gamma ray bursts are these literal bursts of energy that occur outside of our galaxy. And
that constantly hit the planet.
Well, no, they don't actually hit the planet.
Okay.
Because if they did, we'd probably be fried.
We'd all be hulked. But did you even think that you would be tuning in to a talk advertised with Bugs Bunny and Roger Rabbit and learn about gamma rays? Like, this is insane.
It's not insane.
It is. I learned about
insane
the
if we were to sit here and eat each other's socks.
Well, that's happening at the halfway point. Because if we're dipping in the ratings, they said eat the socks.
Eat the
30
socks,
minutes
man.
in, we're going to hold up the sign that say the socks.
Eat the socks. What kind of socks are you wearing?
I'm wearing a low-cut socks. I should have worn my high-cut socks.
Oh, man, could I see your ankle?
Well, no, I'm shy. My ankle-loons.
Break out of it.
You can't see them because, we want people to watch this. We don't want people to get scared. There's children watching. Paul Ankel.
He wrote the Tonight
famous
Show theme. I tell you, it's like we're born in different mothers for the same reverse album.
No, rabbits wearing gloves is the team, you see. How you been, Roger? Good?
Jeepers, I can't believe it. I was going to say something earlier, but I didn't have a clue.
Oh, it's over. See, now just roll the credits. I'm out of here. Look, we're even having someone come in. Okay, back to the camera. Yes, no, I'm not looking at any camera because of what just happened. Anyways,
what did just happen?
I don't know.
It's happening again.
I blanked out and then I woke up. So, okay, please explain the origin of that. I know we're both cartoon professors and scientists. So I imagine this is something that you had to do, or did they ask of you
Yeah, I almost did it now.
Cartoon speech impediments?
Exactly. After I'd already gotten the job, they said, you got to have a speech impediment. All cartoons have speech impediments.
Whose call was that? Was that Zemeckis, Williams, or
I don't know from where it came. I just knew it was delivered to me. That would be something that would make it good. And there were like lisps and whistles, and the Bowery Boys.
Yeah,
I think it was Hunts Hall Satchel. He used to go. I'd seen that. And I used to do an impression of a flying saucer landing on a horse.
Oh, no.
So, and then I thought, wow, what if I could incorporate that with some like please? So they said, let's use that. So Richard Williams, they videoed me doing that so they could see how to animate it.
I was going to say, there's plenty of times where you do it in the film, but there is one part where Roger's really down. Jessica, saying
that's
so.
My when he's sitting on the box in the alley.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite scenes because it's really heartfelt.
Yeah.
And the fact that my youngest daughter is named Jessica.
Yeah.
That keyed into an emotional center that brought another level of my heart into the performance.
Well, there it is. Oh, okay, let me talk again. Bringing it back to kids, I was invited to another studio outside of Disney and outside of Warner Brothers, respectively, DreamWorks. They invited myself and my son they take your kids to work day, and I was the stop on the tour, which was the voiceover stop. And I asked these kids, and they couldn't have been more than between 5, 9 years old, but the youngest definitely 5 years old. And I was like, "What's your favorite animated film?" And you're in the house of Shrek and Puss in Boots, and more than a few kids raised their hand and said, "Who Framed Roger Rabbit?" And I was just blown away. I would hang on that. I would say, forget about the other stuff. Let's talk about your, who in the household, because of course there's animators working at the building. They're going to show their kids some of the classics, but they were doing lines of dialogue from that movie like Chicken Jockey from Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like the catchphrases of today. But I was so blown away. But at the same time, when we're sitting there having sushi, thinking about that film, there will be nothing like it ever again, I don't think.
I think you are correct, sir.
Try as they might.
Have you ever been asked to do the foreign version of any of the films you've been in? Like
no, but I have
Spanish Porky or something?
No. Yeah,
¿Cómo está?
I mean, it's possible, The Filipino version of Porky Pig would be Larry Lechon. He's pig, or Barry Baboy, which means fat in Tagalog. But I've been contacted by actors from all over the world, Netherlands, and definitely it's so funny because he's like, "Hi, I'm the guy from this part of the planet that does all of your voice matches, but in our language." Were you tasked as...
Well, they considered that happening.
Yeah.
So I worked on the French and Spanish, S'il vous plaît. But apparently the regulations require an actor to be from the country,
the origin,
the indigenous country, to do it. So
that is crazy. That is so cool that you were. Of course he would be able to do that. I'm not shocked. I'm not from where Antonio Banderas is from, but I'm the voice match for Puss in Boots. You see, if you go to the theme park in Florida, I say the voice litter box is this way. So, but there was an article.
Beautiful to know that
is correct.
Anthony,
But Mr. Banderas, one of the Antonios. But there was an article that was written. He had been interviewed from BBC News, and they said, there's a new series on Netflix. A young man from Filipino-Canadian is doing your voice in a show, Puss in Boots. And he said, that is okay, because that only means I've created a character that's so popular. I do not have to be there for him to exist. So basically saying, I'm Santa. He is Mall Santa. And I felt great. It was fine, I don't mind being Mall Santa.
Like Clarice, Anthony Parkin, and do it again, Porky.
Yeah.
With some Chablis.
A little bit of Anthony Hopkins and Antonio Banderas. They should be
all the Anthonys. Yeah. And Anthony Newley, totally Newley. What kind of fool am I? That works.
Bringing it back to, again, Roger Rabbit, I brought articles from my childhood here with me.
You're still a child.
I'm still a child.
I got socks older than you.
Yeah. Socks. We're bringing it to socks.
Socks 4 times. Come on. Say the secret word and win $100.
That's it, kids.
Socks.
Socks is the
George
secret
Fenneman.
word. 10K socks is the next fundraiser we're doing.
Careful how you say that.
Groucho Marx is with us today.
Well,
folks.
he would be.
Yeah.
Well, there's young Groucho, and then the older Groucho got a little. His voice was a little thinner.
A little bit, almost reminiscent of Bing Crosby-ish, almost the
Bing and David Bowie. That's a great scene. Bing and David Bowie.
Oh yeah.
You know that? Yeah.
The old. This is from my childhood. I don't know if you've seen this, but This is probably also one of the last things that they had with Roger in it. But it was a Disney World on Ice program. And I thought you'd get a kick out of this. I had hung on to this for many years, but there's Roger. He appears in so many of these pages, and I don't know if the kids can see that. But
that's very good.
But look, I guess Roger does have a thing for redheads. There you are with Ariel. There it is.
It's to match his little crown.
But yeah, I don't know. And I also brought these, and I don't know if you've ever seen these, but these are unopened. Directly from this had to be 87. These are Who Framed Roger Rabbit cards. And I think maybe we could donate or have a giveaway for the kids watching or anyone watching who maybe you guys want to do this for charity. We'll leave 2 packs, but I thought it would be fun for us to open a couple packs.
Sure. I was in a movie with Tupac.
Which one?
Gridlocked.
See, what hasn't this guy been in? I mean,
I haven't been. Well, I could go there, but this is for a kid thing. So I'm not going there.
No, this airs at 10 p.m. So, I mean, it's fine. Here, I'm going to open it. Don't chew the gum, though, because the gum is from 1987.
Yeah, but if you soak this gum in vinegar and hydroponic acid, you can convert it to like a spinach substrate.
Well,
okay, let's make this.
I'll take your word for it.
Want to play poker?
Let's do it.
Hey, look at the gum. That's
What do you
nice.
got there? What do you got there, Roger?
Take that on my head and see. Okay, let's see what he got. I got. All right. Oh man.
Oh my God. Okay, right away.
I bet 20 simoleons.
Okay.
Oh, there's a simoleon bill in there too that I brought on the other side. Pull that out because I brought that for.
We got a lot of things to give away here, guys.
Yeah.
Again, if you're tuning in. 10K Heroes, hit 10kheroes.com. We are doing some fundraising for the kids.
Yeah, it's I think it's printed on both sides. So I'm going to bet this right now, and we can sign this stuff, and people can bid on it to make money for the kids. Yeah. All right, that's good.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh, look at that!
Boy, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I
got a full house, and Bob Saget, God bless him.
R.I.P. But look, you said I don't believe it, and that's exactly what it's the. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. This is him.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I won't believe it. Yeah.
Was this trip necessary? This is you in the kitchen at the beginning. Not tummy trouble. Sorry. This is babysitting. Baby Herman.
Yeah, something's cooking.
Now, I the first card that I saw, and this is a cool fact. Not only were you the voice of Roger Rabbit in the movie, you're also the voice of
Benny the Cab.
Where did that?
And
oh wait,
2 of the Weasels.
2 of the Weasels. I thought only 1.
Mother Franklin.
Mother Tucker.
Mother Slankin. No, I did. I Psycho and Greasy as well.
Greasy?
I did them. Yeah, Greasy. Gonna kill a rabbit. And Psycho, gonna kill a rabbit.
He had the beanie, the propeller head, which was great. I didn't know that you were 2 of the Weasels.
Yeah, well, I've been holding back, bro. Because, if you found that out, you never would have gone for the sushi.
So... This is incredible. While you're on the set, there's so much. No, please don't. Please don't look at that.
I don't even eat anything processed, artificial, or I don't eat four-legged animals. So there's no way I'm going to eat that.
Still intact is incredible.
Well, intact, you could build a home out of that.
I was going to say, I could cut my finger with this. There's plenty of footage of you on the set while filming Roger Rabbit in costume. Now. What's the story behind this if there are people watching?
Well, it's a funny story.
Tell me about this.
Well, I get this job. I'm, thrilled. Bob Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg. I'm going to England for 4 months to film a movie. And Zemeckis explains to me that I am going to be off camera for the recording of all the dialogue so that they can get it shipped to the animators immediately. And also so Bob Hoskins can react to what I'm doing and I can react to what he's doing. So I'm going to be on camera on the set every day. I don't want to just wear my regular civvies because, people from England say, the American guys wearing same corduroy pants all week. So Joanna Johnston, the costume designer, Academy Award winning, I told her, and Bob Zemeckis said, I'd like to wear a Roger Rabbit costume. And Hoskins first thought I was crazy. Yeah, you mind? But then he thanked me for it because it helped him to visualize it. We were filming at Emborum Studios, Elstree Studios in Bournemouth, and they were filming one of the Superman films there, and I was in the commissary, and I heard these people saying, I saw the guy playing Roger Rabbit. He doesn't look anything like a rabbit.
Yeah, you can get canceled for that, You're not a real rabbit?
Well, today, in today's crazy world, cultural appropriation. What about, architecture? You ever see Washington, D.C.? Where'd they get the columns from? They didn't come up with that. No, culture should be appropriated and shared. That's the whole purpose. But I don't want to digress into the gress of the dosh. When the Milan pony comes back for the notion, back to the slime in the mushy ocean. What?
You see, I know you work with Tupac because you're just as good.
No, please don't blaspheme. Okay, but he was a real poet. I mean, he had his little book of poetry, and we were talking. He was saying, I'll be in my films and stuff.
All of his songs, all of his albums were not just your
flower breaking through the concrete.
They were very, very poetic.
He was a cool guy.
Now, that being said, being on set for Roger Rabbit, filming the actual scenes with the on-camera performers at the time, was a major percentage of what you recorded on set used in the film, or did you have to go back to a studio like this?
There was always tweaks.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things were, and it allowed me to, it was what I call TPA, trans-projectional acting. So I'm sitting there, and I have my own mic, and I'm watching Bob Hoskins. So if Bob Hoskins, grabs my ears, I have to relate to that.
Yeah.
So I just projected myself into that space right in front of him, just as he projected me into, so he could see me there. So it was really surreal.
You invented like a new performance, a new way of.
Well, I don't want to make a claim that I merely participated in a group of extraordinary artists.
No, you guys invented so many things on that film.
Well, that movie, that's, as you previously said, that will never be hit again.
Well, when we first actually met, this was a few years back, over at the U.S. premiere of The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. And I was standing behind you at the will call, and I knew it was you, not even seeing your face. I was like, oh my God, he's here. And then you turn around, and I Canadian humbly said, please tell me you're here for something that you're in and not me. And you went, I know who you are, and I'm here to watch your movie. And my mind was blown. You were there with your lovely wife, and we didn't get to see each other after that. But not even knowing that you were sitting in the audience, Pete Browngardt, the director of that film, had cited Who Framed Roger Rabbit as a big influence on his career. And
I hear that a lot from people, which is obviously an honor, and to be in anything that's good. I mean, that's what you want as an actor, wow. But I've been in several movies that I consider, worthy, from Nightmare on Elm Street to Back to the Future.
You played Dr.
King, yeah. And even Zodiac with David Fincher as the director.
That's right.
That was, so I consider myself very, very blessed,
You've been in places that we know and places that we don't. Anytime I hear a new thing, like today, Tupac, I had no idea that you had spent some time. But again, it doesn't surprise me. And thinking about I'm talking, we're talking about the spirit of giving. We're talking about charity, and it is amazing that I get to sit here with one of my heroes who influenced me. I thought I would give you a little something. I know I don't know what time we have. Great. This is great. Halfway through is a great way for me to also say thanks to you. Give me 1 minute. It's right back here. I wanted to give you something.
What the audience doesn't know, while Eric walks to the side of the room, we are going to replace his seat with a $14 slob, which is Who Built the Winky.
Now, a poster had fallen, but...
A poster fell, just as you said that.
Here, I don't know where we could possibly put this, or if you could even see this. But
well,
this
I can see it if you show my eyeballs.
I had this framed.
Wow, look at that.
For you. Now, if the audience can't see this, this is an old. You actually could probably still see the creases. Back in the day, they used to fold movie posters. Not roll them, but I had some of the creases.
Yeah, it's same with joints, man. We used to fold a joint. Man, you can roll a joint. Man, we're going to fold it.
It's legal, right, in California?
It's legal everywhere, man.
But I thought you would enjoy this. This is a movie poster that I used to see in a movie store in Toronto that is burned into my memory. I'd be like, why is there a giant Richard Pryor walking on sunsets? Over cars, and I just thought it was the funniest image, but I wanted you to have this.
Oh, thank you. It's very kind.
You know, we're talking about inspirations, and hopefully you have some wall space for this. But yeah, it's for you.
That's very beautiful. Thank you very much.
Put it in the trunk of your car, and we will whisk it away over here.
Very kind.
That
was weird. It was
it was almost like there was an edit.
Felt like there was a cut or something.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I see what it was.
This is fine.
There's a Schnadeltot.
A Schnadeltot? Well,
look, I can split it.
You split a Schnadeltot? That's how I know you're a real scientist.
You don't be saying what the heck? I forgot something. I'm stuck. What?
Wait, are you okay? We'll get this man some water.
Something I can do it without trying to true.
Fold to line, number 9, fold 2. I smell the really cool. Well, never mind.
Nothing that
a billion
simoleons would fix, right?
A billion simoleons will fix a lot.
You make your own money. This is incredible.
I did not make that.
Okay. Who made it?
That was made by Gary Wolf.
All right. Well, who made these, by the way? Can we give a shout out to the artist?
Sure. That's my beloved Victoria.
Yes.
Yeah, take the simoleon out of there so you can actually see the whole posterior. But I brought those little Roger Rabbit monies, which is print on both sides, just to boost the ante a little bit.
Boost the economy.
Yeah, it's a separate little thing. You can sign them, you can sell them, get some money for it. Help the kids.
No tariffs on these, so this is good. This is your own.
Yeah, tariff it up.
Now this is remarkable. This is something that we will be giving away or putting up for auction. However, 10kheroes.com would like to present it. Which is, again, presented to us by Victoria. And where can we see her art? Do you know? Maybe we could put a link in the bio.
Yeah, we'll shoot you some. You can put a link to it.
Put a link.
Like you can double hit and go to my website too and hit on that, or hit back. Or you can just go to plinkaframp.what-not now, prank and load it.
It's a long domain. We're gonna have to pay extra.
A lot of people say, "Hey, you don't want a long domain, Chase. You need a short domain." So I just said, "How about Papa? If you could go back in time, and just go back to the beginning of the .coms and just register all these
of the
names.
.coms?
Oh. Yeah, because they.
Which one would you register first?
I'd register Eric.com.
Eric.com, the least visited website on the internet, by the way. So not only was she kind enough to do one rendering, but we have 2 renderings of the 2 famous rabbits.
Well, your beloved Carolyn indicated that she would like a print of that because she saw that.
Yeah.
And then we hooked that up, and then you said you wanted something for this, so we hooked up that one there.
Okay. Well, I thought these were both for charity. I feel
they are.
I feel like let's give them both to charity today. And I will pay you another fee for the printing process of my very own. But this is so
freeze the fees, please.
So generous of you guys to contribute. Can we do a live signing? Would that be possible? Is that something that would spike the views? So you sign this one first, and we'll remove we'll talk about your book as well right after this, because this is interesting. Charles, like I had said in the description, your intro, you were an author, and I would love to dive into maybe read an excerpt or something.
Yeah, sure. It's not autobiographical.
No. These are your own stories, your fictional stories?
Yeah, they're fictional. They're kind of surreal, kind of sci-fi. 10 stories about love, different kinds of love.
10 stories, 10K heroes. I think there's a theme here. So we'll talk about
10 fingers.
10 fingers?
Finger. Man, this tape thing is making me excited.
I think the studio's haunted, Scoob.
Digit still means finger as well as number. And the word hand is the ancient word for 5.
See, guys, you're learning so much.
Nobody's learning nothing. It's just
education.
Fun stuff.
It's fun stuff, but I'm shocked right now. So are you going to go? What should we do here with this? What do these deserve? Just a classic, black Sharpie, gold Sharpie, silver Sharpie?
I think classic black is.
Classic black will show up nice.
But look how I'm dressed, bro.
Yeah, right. You got the memo. Here. You start,
memo.
You start with this.
I got the Nemo.
You got the. We'll have to say that.
Nemo? Why, is it the wrong cartoon?
Is that the wrong cartoon? No, it doesn't matter. This is 10K Heroes. Every cartoon is welcome here. This is like,
I'm going to put my signature on this here. Hey, hand me one of them books. Will you there, Chief?
Yeah, we are going to give
I'm going to put one. I just want one of them.
One of them?
I can use them both. I just want to put something under so I can go flatness on it.
Our hosts, Colette and Joe, will be giving these away later, right? At a later date or later in the broadcast. To anyone who donates to this cause, a wonderful cause, one lucky person, a group of people, who knows? I'm going to go soon.
You know, because you can see the future.
Not me. I'm a participant in today's event, so my prize is this conversation right now.
Well, this conversation is temporal. But I signed that.
I got this one. And
there's something there then. I like you sound on the right, then I sound on the left.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, back and forth. Nothing's more exciting than watch people sign.
And you know,
there's a new TV show called Signature Convention, and people just are signing. It's fantastic. Do you see that? A 5 font signing at Helvetica.
Helvetica is the font to go if you're going to copy any font.
However, font for the whole family.
You and I will be signing at some point in the month of May at the Pasadena TuneCon. If you guys are available, I think it's May 24. If you're in the Pasadena area. Charles and I will be.
Even if you're not, you can, they got roads.
Roads, where we're going.
Randy Roads.
Here we go, guys. Fresh off the signature block. These can be yours. If you visit 10kheroes.com, donate, and Joe and Colette will figure it all out. But you guys could be the owners of this very special, these very special prints. Thank you so much. The link is right below. In the description, in the bio.
I'll sign one of these too. If people
you're going to sign one of these. This one, actually, I think is...
This one's yours.
Is this one mine?
That one I gave you. But I'll sign one for the folks.
You will also be able to access this in the charity, 10kheroes.com. Charles is donating one of his books, Out of My Mind. And if you don't win, where can we find this book?
Well, it's I have some copies in my house.
If you go to Charles's house,
the address is
the link in
now Wen Boulevard. It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
And
Great.
if you're in the area, Studio City, the Barnes and Noble has signed copies.
Barnes and Noble, Studio City. Charles, if you would do the honors. This one's signed to me and my girlfriend Caroline. So this is our copy. Sorry, guys, this one's not for sale. This one stays under my pillow at night.
It's for charity, man. Sell that, bro, and then I'll get you another one.
12 minutes to go, guys. If you're watching this, thank you so much for tuning in. I couldn't have thought of a better way to spend my Saturday than to see posters fall continuously in the background. Yeah. It's hot in here. I'm not going to lie. I think the heat.
You're wearing like the heat. Alpaca snow gear. My God, man. Yeah,
that the outfit for a portly man, such as
portly.
Myself. I have Canadian insulation. You see, this is the natural state of Canadian males because it's cold. It's cold where I'm from.
Why? There's always the summer.
I have summer teeth. Some are here, some are there. That old joke.
Hey,
that's a rabbit joke.
That's a cavity for depravity. That's
my
a
teeth
molar.
look like dice.
So, anyways, can we talk about your book and what inspired you to write? I imagine being an actor, some might think being around so many scripts, reading so many scripts, but
reading books, reading authors that.
Who are your influences? Who are your favorite things? What are your favorite things?
Haruki Murakami.
Okay.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Any of the really good guys.
And now you're one of them. This is amazing.
Velvet Bunny, Slappy Woodinger, Miles Nahamro, But Murakami is definitely a major inspiration, and there are hints of Murakami's magical reality. I like that genre where it seems very real and yet fantastic things are happening.
So that is definitely found within the pages of this. What would you say was
within the pages and between the words?
What would you say is your favorite one that you wrote out of 10 stories that could be found in this book?
Oh, it's hard to say, but Sugar from the Snow is certainly up there. But it's like, what's your favorite child? You know, which is your favorite toe? You know, right foot, left foot, middle toe, big toe. You know, I want all my toes.
You need them.
Please.
You need them.
You need your toes.
You need your toes.
You need your toes. That's why we have 10 of them. Toes are like fingers that went nuts.
There's. I mean, even if we're doing the live, the thing, I was thinking of trying to do like a Q&A. There's a guy that's in my phone book. His name is Ben Schwarz. Do you know Ben Schwarz? He's a comedian, actor.
He's an actor, tall guy.
Can I call him?
Black hair.
I'm gonna see if we could call him. Let's see if we can call him, because I went to go see. I think it could have been on the 20th anniversary of your film, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
He's been in a lot of TV shows.
Oh,
right?
He's been in plenty.
He was one with Don Cheadle, right?
Yes, he was. Actually, it's funny because they were on DuckTales together.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle temporarily provided the voice of Donald Duck because there was a moment in the show where they just made fun of the fact that we're like, we can't understand you, Uncle Donald. So okay. Well, anyways, who needs to call Ben Schwarz when we have Charles Fleischer here?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious!
It's listening to Tall Jew.
Let's see if Ben picks up. Hold on. He may not, but if he doesn't,
if Ben picks up, now,
we get to leave a message.
Yeah, I know Ben
on his answering machine
Ben
as
Schwarz,
Bugs Bunny.
That'll be nice.
And Roger, because he's a huge.
What Ben doesn't know, people are surrounding his house at this very time.
Ben isn't here, but guess what? Everything's coming up Millhouse.
Oh my God, he's.
Millhouse is on your answering machine, Doc? Well, now you're getting a message from Bugs Bunny.
And Frank Mooch.
a.k.a.
Please.
Roger Rabbit, man. You missed out, Ben. That'll teach you.
That'll teach you, Ben. Hey, Slammy, how are you? Hey, I need that $40 back.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Well, that was Ben Schwarz, everybody. You know, I mean, it couldn't have gone better, I think.
You kidding me? That's a historic bit. Hey, when Eric couldn't reach so Ben, it's like when Bob Newhart tried to reach Don Rickles at Shecky Green's house. And it was haywire, I tell you.
What are you talking about there, hockey puck? I love Don Rickles. Oh, rest in peace. I got to see him and Regis live interview each other on stage before both of them departed this realm. And that was incredible.
Yeah, well done. CPO Sharky.
That's right. Good old CPO Sharky. Guys, this is what you tuned in for. This is why you're watching 10K Heroes at the 10 p.m. hour. We're covering the 10 to 11, folks. We're the song that you play when you want people to leave the bar. This is Go Home
No, that's
now.
Incorrect, bro.
No.
You don't want them to leave the bar.
You want them to stay. You want them to rock. So we got this 24-hour marathon, 10kheroes.com, 10,000heroes.com, doing research for kids battling blood cancers. And, you know, again, I'm so appreciative of your time. And
my time is your time, you know?
What you've done. Again, we got some fancy artwork here that
artwork.
will be up for grabs. And who knows? Who knows what's possible?
You do.
What is next for Charles? That's what I want to know.
Well, my car's in the parking lot.
Do you want to get some baked crab hand rolls after this?
It's a little early.
Is it a little early?
Or it's a little late.
Well, it's supposed to be 10 p.m. So
well, it's supposed to be. In that case, I just came from there. No, I'm up for anything exciting, adventure. Maybe go to Mount Wilson and look for some schnappies.
Would you consider going back in the booth to do more voices and delight new generations of fans?
Of course, I love creating work and doing stuff. You kidding me?
Oh, can we also one more thing?
There's more than one thing.
Not only is
there's
your wife
1,000
lovely
things.
And talented artist, you are a talented artist. Can I show them this piece of work?
Yeah, please do.
This was, what do you call this? This is a piece of your own artwork here.
Yeah, that's called the Museum of Self-Reflection. Took over 3 years. every painting in the museum of self-reflection has a painting in it of the same museum, but at a different time, seasonally and chronologically. And there's paintings and paintings on the wall, so it took a long time.
709 FaceTime video. Who's this?
I don't know, but I bet you're going to answer it.
Oh, no, I don't know who that is.
Well, you can answer the phone by looking at the painting.
Well, yeah, maybe that was the self-reflection calling me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's... and charles-fleischer.com.
This is where we can find this art and more art?
Yeah, I have a lot of art there.
This is amazing.
Guys, it's all part of the game.
You can, okay? This is for me, you're saying?
I'm not saying, I'm insisting. Yes, of course. That is
for
you.
So everyone's getting something today. This is wonderful.
Well, it's more than that. And, could you sign my pen?
Oh, wait. You want me to sign your pen?
Yeah, and then I want that signed with another pen. We'll just keep going. It's an infinite series of signatures on signatures. It's like MC Escher.
I don't want to get in trouble for signing a studio pen, but I've signed a pen.
Perfectly.
And you could get this pen signed by me.
Use that pen to sign something else.
We're just going to give this one away. No one needs to buy this from anybody. No one wants to actually buy this signed pen by me. But
I'll buy it. I'll give you $40 right now.
I keep getting a call hoping that it's Ben Schwarz, but it's not. It's a spam call.
I would say forget Ben. If he's not home for this call, I love the guy, but come on. Ben, come on. Read the memo. You are supposed to have come, but not.
Well, that is Gandhi.
There is not burden to take the time. In my HBO special, I did Gandhi as Batman.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't want to see Gandhi as Batman?
I'm Batman.
That's it. That's
Well, there was more, but I don't want to spoil it.
What is Batman? No, now you have to go find that comedy special, if it's up anywhere.
Oh, it's up everywhere.
Earlier we did talk about, in our last few minutes together, I find this super fascinating. TED Talks, and you said you've done 4.
I've done 3. There's one online, which I talk about moles, which is my mathematical theory that I discovered. And it's comedy and mathematics converging, a bi-associative act, like Arthur Kessler talked about it in his book, The Act of Creation, if you want to reference it from a place that you can find The Darkness at Noon, another book.
I can believe that you have the TED Talk, but I wish I could have been there to see that happen.
You were there.
Was I?
You are everywhere that I go. You are in everything I see. You are the encapsulation of identity.
10,000 Voices with Mr. Charles Fleischer, everybody.
10K, baby, 10K.
You can find that all on his resume. Coming up on 10,000 Heroes, we have the talented team behind the 3 Caballeros. Includes Matt Danner, Joe Sikta. We got Chris Moreno, Mark Baldo, Matt Chapman. These are all folks that worked on a reboot. I ended up doing Jose Carioca. They had Tony Anselmo, who was also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There he is. He's actually right here. That's it.
No, I'm not Tony Anselmo. He's a duck of a different feather.
He lives within your adenoids.
No, he was kicked out of my burn.
What? That's where I'm going to end. Our guest today has been Mr. Charles Fleischer, and you have been watching the Midnight Hour, the Late Show with 10,000 Heroes. Thank you guys for tuning in. And that being said,
that's all, folks.
I want to take this off.
You're going to take that off?
Yeah.
Please donate. Find the link in the chat. Now it can breathe.
Feels a lot better.
Thank goodness. All right.